outrage and calls for action.
This child and this child's family knows that there are people working hard, a number of people working hard to make sure there is justice.
The simmering anger following the shooting of a black teen after he went to the wrong address and was shot. The police probe now underway, the possible motives for the shooting and the reaction from the teenager's family. Plus,
back in the 50s, this was the vacation hotspot. Hundreds of thousands of people would come out every year, including some of Hollywood's elites. This, though, was a marina where hundreds of boats would come in and out. Today, there is barely any water here, and the Salton Sea is more than a football field away from me.
It's being dubbed the Saudi Arabia of lithium. In tonight's Prime Focus, we take you to an increasingly toxic lake and the largely migrant community bearing the brunt of a crisis there, even as corporations battle over one of the most coveted supplies on the planet. And
in part of the training, when you're tired, just pick the next point that you're going to. Just pick that and go to that.
10 years after the terror attacks that struck the Boston Marathon, a community comes together and moves forward on multiple fronts. We join one runner on his journey back. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more, including the FBI arrests here in New York that have uncovered an unprecedented Chinese espionage program on U.S. soil. Plus, jailed Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich is finally able to see a U.S. diplomat in prison. Why the family of Paul Whelan is now speaking out, urging the president not to leave him behind. And the sexual assault case against actor Armie Hammer escalates. The office is now reviewing the case. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and much more for us tonight. But we do begin with the calls for justice for the 16-year-old black male who was shot by a homeowner when he went to the wrong address in a Kansas City neighborhood. Ralph Yarl's parents sent him to pick up his younger brother at a friend's house Thursday night. But after he rang the doorbell, the family says the man who lived there answered and shot the young man in the head through the glass door. That 85-year-old man provided a statement to police and was released. That has sparked protests and calls for action. And moments ago, the Clay County prosecutor announced the filing of 2 felony counts against that homeowner. Tonight, Yarl's family is speaking out, and we'll hear from his aunt and the attorney representing the family in just a few minutes. ABC's Alex Perez is in Kansas City and leads us off.
Tonight, a homeowner charged in the shooting of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl, who mistakenly went to the wrong home. 85-year-old Andrew Lester charged with 1 count of felony assault in the first degree and 1 count of armed criminal action.
As a result of these charges, a warrant was issued for Mr. Lester's arrest, and bond was set at $200,000.
Police say on Thursday night, the high school junior was supposed to pick up his younger siblings at an address on 115th Terrace, but he accidentally went to a home on 115th Street. His family saying Yarl was shot in the head through a glass door after ringing the doorbell. The teenager then falling to the ground and shot a second time in the arm. Yarl was able to run for help, but his family says he was turned away 3 times by neighbors. Officers arriving to the scene, the teen then transported to a nearby hospital. Over the weekend, protesters taking the streets demanding justice. Yarl's family says he's a gifted musician who wants to study chemical engineering. The family's attorney saying he was released from the hospital on Saturday and is expected to make a full recovery, adding the teen suffered a cracked skull, traumatic brain injury, and post-concussion syndrome.
Alex Perez joins us now from Kansas City. Give us the latest on the suspect and what he faces in this case.
Well, Lindsay, authorities say at this point there's no indication there were even any words exchanged before the shooting. The suspect, Lester, an arrest warrant, authorities say, has been issued for him. He will be held on a $200,000 bond. And, Lindsay, he could face life in prison if convicted. Lindsay?
Really just a stunning story there. Alex, thank you. We'll hear from Yarl's aunt and the attorney representing the family coming up. Now to the heavy toll after that mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party in Alabama. At least 4 people were killed, more than 24 injured. Most of the victims, tragically, were just teenagers. ABC's Elwin Lopez has the latest from Alabama.
Tonight, officials in Dadeville, Alabama say they're chasing solid leads in search of a suspect or suspects as the community mourns the young people killed at a Sweet 16 birthday party at this dance studio Saturday night. Bree Hutchinson struck by gunfire.
We were just having fun listening to music. And then Next thing you know, we just heard gunshots.
But 4 others did not survive, including 17-year-old Shankivia Smith. Her cousin telling ABC News, Kiki was filled with life. She lit up the room and planned to attend the University of Alabama.
Bright future. I mean, smart, intelligent, honor student. She was great.
18-year-old Phil Dowdell was weeks away from going to Jacksonville State on a football scholarship. The party was being held for his little sister. His mother, who was chaperoning, was also shot but survived.
It's tough right now for him. Real tough.
Also killed 23-year-old Corbin Holston and 19-year-old Marcia Collins. His mother telling ABC News he would do anything for anybody and planned to study music in college. And it wasn't the only mass shooting. Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 people were killed, 4 wounded when gunfire erupted in a park. Less than a week after 5 people were killed at Old National Bank. President Biden reacting to the latest incidents, writing, "This is outrageous and unacceptable. Our communities need and deserve better."
Ellen Lopez joins us now. Ellen, what's the latest on the search for the shooting suspect?
Lindsay, it's still unclear who was behind the shooting here. The police chief tells me that they do have strong leads, but he's asking anyone with videos or photos of that night to come forward as they continue to investigate. Lindsay?
All right, Ellen Lopez for us. Thanks so much, Ellen. We turn next to a crackdown on Chinese espionage on U.S. soil. The FBI has arrested 2 men, accusing them of being agents of China's security ministry and operating a so-called police station out of a 6-story glass-fronted building in New York's Chinatown, used to allegedly spy on and harass Chinese dissidents living in America. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has this story.
Tonight, the FBI accusing the Chinese government of secretly operating a police station out of this unassuming building in the heart of New York City, the first ever case of its kind.
This case is a further example of the audacious activities that the government of China has carried out right here on American soil.
The FBI arresting these 2 men in New York City today, Lu Jiang Wang and Chen Jingping, accusing them of working under the direction of China's Ministry of Public Security. Their office near Chinatown claimed to be a non-profit organization providing assistance to local residents of Chinese descent, including to help them get driver's licenses. But the FBI says the station was a hub of Chinese counterintelligence operations in New York City, used to harass and intimidate dissidents who dared to defy China.
The secret police station appears to have had a more sinister use.
Officials say Lu allegedly tracked down and terrorized a pro-democracy activist living in California. In one stunning case, sources telling ABC News China is accused of having a secret operative inside the Zoom company and of hacking Zoom sessions.
Task force officers flooded the video conference and drowned out the meeting with loud music and vulgar screams and threats directed at Chinese dissidents.
Pierre Thomas joins us now from outside that alleged Chinese police station in New York City. Pierre, what more are you learning about the investigation and who those suspects were allegedly targeting here in the U.S.?
Lindsay, it all happened in the building behind me. The targets were mainly Chinese dissidents living here in the U.S. or anyone calling for more democracy in China, including American citizens. Lindsay?
All right, Pierre Thomas for us. Thanks so much, Pierre. Now to the mysterious delay in the defamation case against Fox News. The trial was set to begin today. The Wall Street Journal, which, like Fox News, is owned by Rupert Murdoch, is reporting that settlement talks are now underway. So what comes next? Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, is at the courthouse in Delaware, where the case is being tried.
Tonight, on the eve of Dominion's $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit, reports Fox News is trying to avoid a trial. The judge delaying the start until tomorrow, giving no reason, saying only this is not unusual. But the Wall Street Journal, which is owned by Fox boss Rupert Murdoch, reports Fox News is pushing for a settlement. Dominion claims the network knew allegations its voting machines helped rig the 2020 election against President Trump were false, but aired them anyway so they wouldn't lose viewers.
They're using a Venezuelan company as the vote counter, which is known for changing votes.
While watching Rudy Giuliani and others spin conspiracy theories, Murdoch was sending an email saying really crazy stuff and damaging. The jury will see that email and hundreds of messages like it, revealing doubts behind the scenes. This is what some of Tucker Carlson said on TV.
You've heard a lot over the past few days about the security of our electronic voting machines. And this is a real issue.
But this is what Carlson privately texted, calling claims about Dominion shockingly reckless.
Aaron Katersky joins us now. Aaron, what more are you learning tonight about where this case goes from here?
Lindsay, if there's no settlement, and it appears that Fox News is trying to work on one, if there's no settlement, this case is scheduled to start in the morning. They'll seat the jury, and then opening statements will begin sometime later in the day. Fox News had already gone back to the judge, even amid talk of a settlement. He had already ruled against them, but Fox wanted to make the case once again that its hosts could not be held liable for things they said because former President Trump and his allies said them first. Lindsay?
Interesting to see if there will be a last-minute settlement, perhaps. Aaron Katersky, our thanks to you. On Capitol Hill, 2 U.S. senators are back at work tonight. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell returned to the Senate for the first time since being injured in a fall 6 weeks ago. He was treated for a concussion and a cracked rib. And Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is also back in the Senate today following 2 months of treatment for clinical depression. Fetterman says it's great to be back. Clashes between Sudan's top 2 generals have killed at least 180 people and wounded almost 2,000. Hospitals in there are struggling to help patients. The sudden outbreak of fighting has trapped doctors and nurses in hospitals and preventing hospital staff from reaching facilities. The situation has been described by officials as extremely dire, and the World Health Organization said many hospitals are reporting shortages of blood, transfusion equipment, medical supplies, and other life-saving commodities. People have not been able to leave their homes since Saturday as the violence continues. Turning now to the fatal shooting case of Jayland Walker, where an Ohio grand jury decided not to indict the officers charged in his shooting death. The 25-year-old was shot and killed in June of 2022 after a car and foot chase by police in Akron. Officers said that they attempted to pull Walker over for a traffic and equipment violation when he allegedly refused to stop. A chase ensued, resulting in his death. The police officers involved were placed on paid leave before returning back for administrative duty. Officials said they could not determine Walker's reasons for his actions that night. To Russia now, where the U.S. ambassador there has finally been allowed to see Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich for the first time since his arrest more than 2 weeks ago. Ambassador Lynn Tracy tweeted, quote, "He is in good health and remains strong." Gershkovich was arrested on espionage charges and will appeal that charge tomorrow in a Moscow court. The U.S. has determined that he is wrongfully detained. Ambassador Tracy is calling for his immediate release. We turn next to another American being held prisoner in Russia, Paul Whelan, who's been in a Russian jail cell since 2018 and was convicted of espionage in 2020. He's currently serving a 16-year sentence. At the time of Whelan's arrest, the U.S. government also declared him wrongfully detained. But today, the family of Whelan spoke out in a statement saying that Paul has told them he feels abandoned and that his resilience is shaken. The Biden administration responded earlier today saying, since the earliest days of this administration, we have sought to bring Paul Whelan home. We will continue to pursue every avenue to secure his release. David Whelan, Paul's brother, joins us now. David, thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate you coming on the show. First, just want to ask you, when we talk about his resilience being shaken, what do you mean by that? Tell us what kind of emotional state that Paul is in.
I think from the very start of his detention back in 2018, he has tried to maintain hope, and he has certain things that he does every day to create a routine and to, keep a mental positivity. And I think that the latest detention of an American by the Kremlin has shaken that, so that he's not only less hopeful, but I think really concerned that he may be going back through a process that has happened a number of times now, where an American is brought home because of concessions the U.S. government makes, but Paul doesn't come home.
Are you and your family planning on interacting differently at this point with the State Department?
I think we are. Elizabeth's going to take a bit of a pause on her meetings with them. I think she's finding that there aren't fruitful outcomes to the discussions that they've been having. We don't get the sense that there are creative strategies being brought to bear on Paul's case. And frankly, the family of a wrongful detainee has limited resources. We take days off from work. We pay to travel to Washington, D.C. to do advocacy. There's a cost, and I think we've decided that for now the cost we need to hold off until we can see better progress.
Why do you think that Paul doesn't get the attention like Brittany Griner, Trevor Reed, and now Evan Gershkovich?
It's hard to know. The special presidential envoy for hostage affairs last week said that he didn't know why Paul's case was harder, why the Russian government wasn't letting him go. And I think if even the people in the State Department know, it's hard for us to understand either. It's really too bad. I think that there was an opportunity to bring him home in 2020, and the U.S. government decided not to do that. And then since then, it's just become very difficult. And I think it's not going to get easier with a second American charged with espionage by the Kremlin.
Have you and your family discussed what your next steps might be? I know that you said that your sister is now saying that she's going to maybe slow down that communication with the State Department, but now going forward, is there another strategy?
There isn't for our family. I mean, a lot of it's hoping and waiting and trying to keep Paul's spirits up so that he can survive as long as he can. I mean, unfortunately, he may have to survive for 16 years, the entirety of the sentence, and we hope that that's not the case. And we want to keep our parents' spirits up as well, because, of course, they get disappointed when they hear Paul becoming despondent on the phone. So, I mean, I think we will just continue to try and focus on what we have to do, which is just to support Paul and to support our parents. But it would be ideal if the State Department would also engage and put the pressure on that they have said that they would do and try and bring Paul home.
You mentioned the potential for him potentially having to serve out that 16 years. Is there a part of you that's given up hope?
No, I mean, I think you always have to keep some hope. It would be impossible to continue either as a family member or as Paul if you gave up hope. I think that's why we see some wrongful detainees attempt suicide when they are in detention or being held hostage. And fortunately, Paul hasn't gotten to that point. So we will try and keep him as mentally healthy and physically healthy as we can until he's able to come back.
Well, we thank you again so much for your time and always talking with us, David. And hopefully this helps just to keep the conversation going about your brother.
I appreciate you having me on.
And turning back to the Kansas City shooting, before the charges were announced against the suspect, I spoke with the aunt of the shooting victim, Ralph Yarl, and asked her how the family is holding up. Take a listen.
Despite of everything, we are grateful that he is alive, because considering what he went through, I don't think the person who did this intended that he would be alive. So we are very, very grateful that he is still with us. We still see him. I can still hug him. His siblings can still hug him. So yes, we are grateful. We are upset. We are angry. But we also understand that it could have been a lot worse. To think that you have been shot twice, once in your head and once in your arm, but yet you find the will to get up and run to look for help. But yet you're turned down 2 times before finally someone tells you, put your hands up and get on the ground in order for them to help you. That, it brings my heart to the core, because clearly he needed help. But this is America.
Ralph Yarl's family attorney Lee Merritt joins us now. Thank you so much for talking with us. What's your reaction to the charges filed late today?
Lindsay, we're extremely relieved by the charges finally coming forward. You know, justice delayed is justice denied, and we believe that charges could have been filed sooner and that the suspect could have been identified and arrested sooner. But now that the charges are going forward, and we know that there are 2 felony charges that together he's facing up to life in prison, and that is a huge relief for the family.
From what you've seen so far in the early stages of this investigation, do you feel that justice is being carried out in this case?
Well, the early parts of this investigation have given me reason to pause and believe that maybe justice would be evasive in this case. However, because of the national outpouring, because of the community of Missouri that stood up, because of all the national organizers and people who have lent their voice, it seems that the prosecutors and law enforcement agencies on the ground are taking the case more seriously. Ralph just got off the phone with the President of the United States today, who assured him that, that he was and the rest of the nation was invested in justice for him.
So let's just get an understanding of the extent of his injuries, because a lot of times people are going to hear, that he was shot point blank in the head, and yet days later he's talking coherently to the President of the United States. Just how bad is he off?
So he is doing remarkably well, considering the very serious nature of his injuries. You almost expect to hear that the bullet somehow missed or didn't go where it was targeted to go, but a bullet penetrated his skull and entered his frontal lobe. On Thursday, doctors were taking bullet fragments off the frontal lobe of this 16-year-old boy head. And he also suffered an additional gunshot wound in the arm. The fact that he is able to talk to anyone at all is, in fact, a miracle. And so it's hard to really explain the injuries and then talk about how well he is and what his prognosis is, because it makes you believe that what happened actually didn't happen.
And you said that on Friday, Ralph was able to speak directly with police. What can you tell us about his statement to them?
Well, on Friday, law enforcement officers, 2 officers with the Kansas City Police Department entered the young man's bedroom, hospital bedroom, and began to take statements from Ralph. Ralph was present with his auntie. It was recorded, and Ralph gave the narrative that you've heard repeated by his auntie since, Dr. Faith, describing exactly what happened.
Have officials shared any details on why the homeowner says that he felt it was necessary to open fire?
So far, we've received no explanation for that. We've heard aversions to the stand your ground doctrine or the castle doctrine available in Missouri to people in their home when they believe their home is under attack to use force to protect it. But so far, there's been no evidence, even from the suspect himself, that Ralph ever represented a specific threat to him or to his home.
And when we're talking about this happened on Thursday, these charges didn't come down until today, 4 days later. Have police given any explanation for the delay?
Yeah, law enforcement agencies officers in KCPD have offered 2 explanations for why they didn't make an immediate arrest, but both have proven false. The first was that they didn't have a statement from the victim. I argue that they wouldn't have needed a statement from the victim based on the evidence that they had on Thursday. However, they did get that statement on Friday, and they have record of that. The second piece of evidence that they've offered is that the law or the rules in Missouri don't allow them to hold the suspect for over 24 hours, kind of alluding to there is a affirmative defense in place like the castle doctrine, and we can't hold them unless there's evidence of a crime. But again, all of that is negated by the fact that they did get a statement directly from the victim from his bedside. And
Ralph is recovering at home now. How long is the road to recovery for him?
Well, because he suffered a traumatic brain injury, there's still swelling on his brain and his skull is still cracked. We're talking years down the line before he's ever fully recovered from these injuries. Now, everything that's happened to him up until this point has been a miracle, and the family is cautiously optimistic that he will continue to progress much faster than expected by doctors and much more completely than would be indicated by the severity of his injuries.
What does justice look like for you in this case?
Justice looks like an arrest warrant being issued and the suspect being picked up right away. So we're glad that step has been taken care of. But we want to see a full prosecution. We want to see this man held accountable to the full extent of the law. There has been discussions about the racial components of this crime, and there is consideration whether or not those charges go forward. We know the state decided not to move forward with those charges, but they argued that the charges would have made the prosecution of this individual less effective. He would have received less time with the hate crime statute. So full justice in this case, maybe Missouri reconsidering the strength of its hate crime statute.
Lee Merritt, we thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Still much more ahead here on Prime tonight. Coming up, the desperate search for 3 Americans missing at sea, where they were headed before their families lost contact. But next in our Prime Focus, it was once a draw for some of the country's wealthiest people, but it's now California's most polluted inland lake. And as the Salton Sea shrinks, it's putting surrounding communities at risk for serious health issues.
All of this used to be underwater. Water is the one element that can maintain all this dust from being airborne and impacting our health.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Water. Every drop shapes our world. And things are changing fast. How we live, where we live. The power of water. Earth Week. Powerful new reports across all of ABC News, morning through night. We all have the power to start making a difference right now.
Welcome back, everyone. The world is facing an unprecedented water crisis. 1 in 4 worldwide do not have access to clean water. And it's the power of water that's at the center of our reporting across the network. Tonight, we bring you the first in a series of Prime Focus pieces honing in on just that, water. It is the largest inland lake in California. It's also the most polluted. But the Salton Sea is shrinking and presenting a dilemma for those who live there. What lies beneath the water has put this largely immigrant community at risk. But it also has the potential to transform how America gets a critical resource needed to help usher in a clean energy future. Maria Villarreal has the story in tonight's Prime Focus.
What was it about this area that made you want to come here?
Nosotros nos mudamos aquí a Salton Sea porque era más barato, porque estábamos cansados de tanto tráfico del lado de Los Ángeles y más tranquilo.
This was the American dream for Nancy del Castillo and her family. A home of her own, warm, sunny days, and a massive lake nearby.
El agua, o sea, yo dije, sí, donde hay agua, perfecto, porque eso relaja, calma.
That dream quickly turned into a nightmare.
No te salgas, ven.
What did it look like when you first got here?
Cuando venimos aquí, yo desde mi casa por la ventana lo alcanzaba a mirar, entonces yo lo miraba precioso por donde vivía. Pero cuando me dijeron, vamos a acercarnos al lago, ahí sí dije, oh Dios, ¿qué está pasando? Eran pescados muertos.
¿No sabía de eso?
Yo no sabía de eso.
When you first moved here, you didn't know?
No, yo no sabía.
It's been 9 years since Nancy and her family moved into this small, modest community, minutes from the Salton Sea, not knowing its history and the danger along its receding shoreline and lurking beneath the water.
Y cuando llegaste, el lago está aquí.
Sí.
¿Y entonces qué pasó? What happened?
Yo escuché que el agua estaba muy salada y empezamos a investigar qué era lo que realmente estaba sucediendo.
Yeah.
Y hoy en día sabemos que el pez se murió totalmente porque el lago está contaminado.
This place was an accident. The Salton Sea formed in the early 1900s when an irrigation canal off the Colorado River burst. Water rushed into the Salton Basin and created an oasis in the desert. Within a couple of years, it became a playground, attracting some of America's wealthiest vacationers to its beachy inland shores.
As a member of the North Shore Beach Yacht Club, you will have this $300,000 clubhouse and this beautiful 400-boat marina at your disposal.
But the area has gone from a resort destination to this, a ticking environmental time bomb.
Back in the 50s, this was the vacation hotspot. Hundreds of thousands of people would come out every year, including some of Hollywood's elites. This, though, was a marina where hundreds of boats would come in and out. Today, there is barely any water here, and the Salton Sea is more than a football field away from me.
In the last 25 years, the Salton Sea has become California's most polluted inland lake and has lost a third of its water. In just the last decade, it's shrunk by 38 square miles.
From California tonight, a radical approach to conservation.
The decline, a direct result of a 2003 water transfer deal that several Southern California water boards signed that agreed to essentially cut off the water supply to the Salton Sea to send more water to San Diego. And growing strains on the Colorado River brought on by climate change and political battles still being waged today.
The Interior Department has laid out 3 possible options for addressing record low water levels along the Colorado River, including potentially docking a serious amount of water from the state of California.
The region's water allocation now largely going to farms. The runoff sustaining the lake, but also filling its underbelly with fertilizer and other toxic pesticides, which are now being exposed. The dust then spreads into surrounding communities, which are mostly low-income migrant families at high risk for asthma and other serious health issues.
A wall of dust headed for the Coachella Valley Thursday. Its ominous approach captured by weather watchers from the Salton Sea to Palm Springs.
When there's windstorms, it just picks up the dust and it brings it into people's homes. And so children are breathing this in the homes that they're living in. They're breathing it in their schools. They're breathing it in community centers. Toxic dust. Toxic dust.
Dr. Ann Cheney is a medical anthropologist for the University of California, Riverside, and works alongside Conchita Posar, who is a community advocate.
¿Creen que estas familias también tienen miedo para hablar de este problemas?
Sí tienen miedo porque muchas de las familias son inmigrantes, no cuentan con un estatus legal y piensan que al poder abogar uno por su comunidad puede ser discriminado o rechazado o incluso deportado. Entonces estamos viviendo en una oscuridad en donde no podemos decir lo que está sucediendo por miedo a la deportación. Enfermedades nos están ganando.
What the community was telling us is our health matters too, and the sea is affecting our health. And one way we know that is we see it in our children.
Josh and Angel have asthma. Our ABC affiliate, KESQ, has been documenting the Salton Sea project.
Sometimes my throat starts hurting when I start breathing.
The water used to come all the way over there.
Sheree Farzan, a researcher for USC, has been collecting samples from the air particles at elementary schools around the Salton Sea since 2017.
We see that the rate of asthma in this specific area is 22% in our study, and the U.S. as a whole is around 8 to 9%.
A 10-year cleanup program is underway to improve the basin and try to clean the air.
Extreme weather in California over the past month.
But California's record rain year statewide, barely touching the drought-starved communities that dot the shores of the Salton Sea. And now, a new boom in business thrusting the struggling community back into the spotlight. Lithium. Dubbed the Saudi Arabia of lithium, this land is likely one of the world's largest lithium deposits, a critical mineral in electric vehicle battery production.
We see this as one of the greatest economic opportunities of our lifetime.
Lithium will be grabbed from the vast reserves deep below the Earth's surface and will be produced alongside the clean geothermal steam power plants that already exist in this region.
You inject water into the earth and bring it out hot. And it's like a natural water heater of sorts.
And the byproduct is extremely valuable, correct?
It is.
A state report estimates there's enough lithium here to produce 600,000 tons per year. That would be the most in the world and could generate more than $7 billion a year. Locals are now demanding they reap the benefits of the white gold rush on their land.
Every single geothermal right now is on public lands.
So technically, the benefits should be coming to the community then.
Absolutely.
Luis Olmedo has lived in the Imperial Valley all his life. He's the executive director of Comité Cívico del Valle, a group founded on the principle that informed people build healthy communities.
This is an impoverished, low-income, disadvantaged, predominantly Latino community. We want these opportunities. We want the good jobs. We want the union jobs. So just because we're enthusiastic doesn't mean that we're going to look away from all the potential environmental harm.
Governor Newsom has signed legislation that will allow Imperial County to tax every metric ton of lithium produced.
We're talking about partnerships. We're talking about real inclusion. We're talking about economic opportunities.
But the promise of a better future won't change the current reality.
All of this used to be underwater. Water is the one element that can maintain all this dust from being airborne and impacting our health.
The hope of more water coming is slowly dwindling. The California Natural Resource Board has provided hay bales that are supposed to suppress the dust storms in this area.
It is a windbreak. It can help alleviate a little bit. It's not going to be 100%.
The drying sea now revealing an unintended windfall with lithium extraction. But at what cost to those that called this place home?
We're basically a sacrifice zone at this point.
Quite a dilemma there. Our thanks to Maria for that. Our coverage on the power of water will continue all week long here on Prime. Still much more to get to tonight. Coming up, new developments in the sexual assault allegations against actor Armie Hammer, who's now reviewing the case. Looking back at the Boston Marathon attack a decade later, we speak to one of the survivors about the moments the bombs went off and his journey back across the finish line today.
I couldn't hear anything. My ears were ringing. People were running into help already, and then the second bomb.
But next, the tax filing deadline is quickly approaching. We have a look at the time and money involved in tax day by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye. Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 News comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexualized child model. Exploitation.
What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women.
I let myself be vulnerable, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about what happened. I thought my one no should have been enough, you know.
When someone like Brooke Shields talks about it, it makes a difference.
I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes,
Whoopi!
Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what people don't see during the commercial breaks.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I was so young. I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the It Girls.
This stuff has to come out.
Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. Like, and it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. Tomorrow is the deadline to file your taxes. We have a look at the day so many Americans dread by the numbers. As of April 7th, the IRS says that it has received more than 101 million personal tax returns this season. Last year, more than 165 million taxpayers filed returns by the end of the year, meaning that nearly 40% of 2022 tax returns are still unaccounted for ahead of tomorrow's midnight filing deadline. The vast majority, some nearly 98 million of this season's returns have been filed electronically, with about 53 million filed by tax professionals and nearly 67 million self-prepared online. For those who have already filed, the IRS has issued more than 69 million refunds worth nearly $200 billion, with the average refund adding up to $2,800 as of the latest IRS data. The IRS estimates that about 426,000 taxpayers will request an extension to file 6 months from now. But for those who are not able to meet that deadline, remember that you do still have to pay what's owed now in order to avoid penalties and interest. With a shortage of IRS workers, the agency is still facing a backlog of 2.26 million returns from the past 2 years. That's partly because outdated technology means the IRS is still processing paper returns by hand. But the agency notes that it can send refunds within 21 days to most who file electronically and receive direct deposits. And if you're wondering how tax day landed on April 18th this year, April 15th fell on a Saturday this year, and today, the Monday following tax day, is a holiday in Washington, D.C., so a tiny break for those waiting until the last minute, but your time is just about up. We still have lots more to get to here on Prime tonight. The Writers Guild members vote to authorize a strike, what it could mean for the entertainment industry. And if you think you heard Rihanna covering a Beyonce song, you were probably mistaken. The battle brewing over how artificial intelligence is being used to manipulate music.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
I was so young. I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the it girls.
This stuff has to come out.
Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. Like, and it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts and watch Boston Strangler starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
The latest on the search for Americans missing at sea, the once popular retail store now filing for bankruptcy, and how artificial intelligence is now being used to manipulate music. These stories and much more in tonight's rundown.
The urgent search for 3 Americans who disappeared nearly 2 weeks ago while sailing off the coast of Mazatlan, Mexico. According to authorities, Carrie O'Brien, her husband Frank O'Brien, and William Gross plan to leave on April 4th, headed to San Diego aboard this 44-foot sailboat named Oceanbound. The group also planned to stop in Cabo San Lucas on the 6th for supplies, but they haven't been heard from since they left.
A case involving actor Armie Hammer now under review by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. The DA's office will examine the case and decide if there's enough evidence to charge Hammer. While the office did not say which specific case was presented, Hammer has been under investigation since early 2021 for an alleged 2017 rape. Hammer has denied the accusations.
Members of the Writers Guild of America have voted to authorize a strike. Just under 98% of the WGA members who voted were in favor of a strike. The union says it set records for both the vote turnout and the percentage of people voting in favor of authorization. The vote comes amid ongoing discussions with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers over a new contract for writers, with a deadline of May 1st.
Wedding dress giant David's Bridal is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company says it expects to keep its stores open and fulfilling orders. That comes after David's Bridal announced it would lay off more than 9,000 employees. Weddings hit their highest numbers in decades last year after a pandemic backlog, but we're not expected to match that number in 2023. Supply chain issues also taking their toll on the wedding industry. The pandemic has led many brides to opt for secondhand or non-traditional dresses.
Major concern in the music industry as vocals from artists like Rihanna are artificially being worked into songs they've never even recorded, like Beyonce's hit Cuff It. This rendition, featuring Rihanna's voice, made using artificial intelligence. experts warned this technology could lead to major legal battles. Now, Universal Music Group, home of artists like Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, asking streaming services to block AI companies from accessing its music.
Sunday was not an average workday for Tyler Morrell, a pizza delivery driver in Pennsylvania. Morrell was making a delivery outside Philadelphia, where he found himself in the middle of a high-speed chase. Police say they were pursuing a stolen vehicle when the driver crashed. Two suspects get out, and that's when Morrell steps in. Police say because of Morrell's quick thinking, they were able to arrest both suspects. After all this, the pizza was delivered.
Ultimately, he saved the day, and from what I hear, the pizza was saved as well.
10 out of 10 delivered.
10 years ago, what is known as a beloved Boston tradition was forever changed. During the city's world-famous marathon, 2 bombs went off, triggering days of fear and violence as the men behind the attack were found and ultimately brought to justice. But born out of that loss was purpose, especially for one runner injured that day as he was steps away from the finish line, who in the wake of the bombing created a foundation that acts as a support system for survivors of terror events. Today, ABC News Live was there as Dave Fortier ran the Boston Marathon a decade after the attack, a moment to reflect, remember, and, of course, to be Boston strong.
Come here. Good boy. Ready? I was on a couch with my dog at the time. One of my best friends was working with me. He'd come down with a form of leukemia. I was calling him because I was stressed about my job. He's dealing with cancer. He's somebody who worked out every day of his life. I just was Mr. Healthy. He said, you know, why don't you just go for a run? Just get out and go. And we made it about a mile. I was talking to doing a 5K and then a 10K, and then in the fall, there was a half marathon. And I thought, well, how difficult could that be? I called my friends. I said, you know, if I'm going to do this running stuff, you know, maybe there's a way I can help you deal with what you're going through. He connected me to the gentleman that was helping through a foundation that he had for the form of leukemia he was dealing with. And during that phone call, we started talking about the Boston Marathon. I've always avoided Boston on marathon weekend because I just never a big fan of all the craziness. We walked on the street the night before, so we were trying to figure out where my family would be to see me finish. Woke up the next day, and it was a beautiful day. The run started out great. A lot of people will run with a story on their back. Tell why they're running, for a brother that they lost, or a sister that they lost, or a child. And the stories were really amazing. In part of the training, when you're tired, just pick the next point that you're going to. Just pick that and go to that. I did not think about the finish line. I just was going building to building at that point. Coming up Hereford Street, the plan was to meet my family at the top. And as I'm coming up Hereford, I knew exactly where they'd be. But it felt like Everest to me. I thought if I stopped, I'm done. I won't be able to keep going. And I just gave them a big wave. I said, I'll see you guys in a while. I think something like that. And I remember kind of going lamppost to lamppost at that point, and I could see the finish line, I could see the arches, and I knew where it was. I'm like, okay, I can get there. And all I was thinking about was, I will never, ever do anything like this again. And that's when the first bomb went off.
2 hours after the winners crossed, 4 hours, 9 minutes into the race, the amateur runners still filling Boston's Boylston Street. 2 rapid-fire explosions at the finish line.
I remember the flash, feel the heat of it. I was pushed sideways. At that point, I didn't realize anything had hit me. Looking back at what had just happened and seeing the devastation that it caused. And just this surreal feeling. I couldn't hear anything. My ears were ringing. People were running in to help already. And then the second bomb. And I remember that sick feeling of, my kids are there. And I felt this throbbing in my foot. And I looked down and there was a hole in my sneaker and it didn't make sense. There was a pool of blood forming and everything was kind of going in slow motion. I realized what had happened. Luckily, my injuries were minor. Some shrapnel damage to my foot, some hearing loss on my left side, but my injuries were minor that day compared to what I saw and what I know people have gone through in the last 10 years. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it. That was a big driver to do what we have done to try to help other people that this happens to. We work with survivors of terrorist, extremist, and mass casualty events, folks that have lost family members, folks that were injured, bystanders, help them build up resilience, help them move forward. We'll raise between $50,000 and $60,000 this year. We work with schools. We do a lot around prevention now. Try to stop something from happening.
You guys crushed it. I am so impressed.
What really crosses my mind is just how many people we've been able to touch. I have far more good memories now than I did 10 years ago.
It's official?
It's official.
All right. I really feel like I grow each year as a person, being a part of what happens here every single year.
Boston is a stronger place for what happened.
We're so happy for those good memories and all that Mr. Fortier is doing now. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, the major turn in the investigation into the leak of highly classified Pentagon documents and why the airman arrested may not have been acting alone. Plus, the next legal step in the fight over the abortion pill and what it signals for millions of women across the country. And banging pots and pans outside during an address to the nation by their president, why Parisians are not giving up their protests.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is
There's always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
I was so young. I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the it girls.
This stuff has to come out.
Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. Like, and it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We're monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. The FBI has busted what they say was the Chinese government's secret police station here in New York City, using this building in Chinatown to allegedly spy on and harass dissidents living here in America. The FBI arrested 2 men today, accusing them of working for China's Ministry of Public Security. The FBI accuses China of widening spy campaign on U.S. soil. The fate of the abortion pill is now in the hands of the Supreme Court. The justices are due to weigh in by Wednesday on a judge's ruling to restrict the pill's use after 7 weeks and ban its distribution by mail. Until then, the abortion pill used in half of all procedures remains unchanged in any state where abortion is legal. An experimental skin cancer vaccine is showing serious promise. Moderna and Merck say new data shows the potential vaccine reduces the recurrence of advanced stage melanoma when combined with immunotherapy. In phase 2 of the trial, involving nearly 160 patients, more than 78% who received the mRNA treatment were cancer-free for 18 months. The company is now moving to phase 3 and later hopes to expand to more types of tumors. Possible FDA approval could be months away. Now to the calls for justice for the 16-year-old black male who was shot by a homeowner when he went to the wrong address in Kansas City. Ralph Yarl's parents sent him to pick up his younger brothers at a friend's house Thursday night. But after he rang the doorbell, the family says that the man who lived there answered and shot the man in the head through a glass door. 2 felony charges have now been filed against that homeowner. ABC's Alex Perez is in Kansas City.
Tonight, a homeowner charged in the shooting of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl, who mistakenly went to the wrong home. 85-year-old Andrew Lester charged with 1 count of felony assault in the first degree and 1 count of armed criminal action.
As a result of these charges, a warrant was issued for Mr. Lester's arrest, and bond was set at $200,000.
Police say on Thursday night, the high school junior was supposed to pick up his younger siblings at an address on 115th Terrace, but he accidentally went to a home on 115th Street. His family saying Yarl was shot in the head through a glass door after ringing the doorbell. The teenager then falling to the ground and shot a second time in the arm. Yarl was able to run for help, but his family says he was turned away 3 times by neighbors. Officers arriving to the scene, the teen then transported to a nearby hospital. Over the weekend, protesters taking the streets demanding justice. Yarl's family says he's a gifted musician who wants to study chemical engineering. The family's attorney saying he was released from the hospital on Saturday and is expected to make a full recovery, adding the teen suffered a cracked skull, traumatic brain injury, and post-concussion syndrome.
Our thanks to Alex Perez. Before those charges were announced against the suspect, I spoke with the aunt of shooting victim Ralph Yarl and asked her how the family is holding up. Take a listen.
Despite of everything, we are grateful that he is alive, because considering what he went through, I don't think the person who did this intended that he would be alive. So we are very, very grateful that he is still with us. We still see him. I can still hug him. his siblings can still hug him. So yes, we are grateful. We are upset. We are angry, but we also understand that it could have been a lot worse. To think that you have been shot twice, once in your head and once in your arm, but yet you find the will to get up and run to look for help. But yet you're turned down 2 times before finally someone tells you, put your hands up and get on the ground in order for them to help you. That, it brings my heart to the, because clearly he needed help. But this is America.
There are new developments in the deadly police shooting of Jaylen Walker. Investigators say 8 officers shot Walker more than 45 times after he ran from a traffic stop. Now the grand jury has decided not to charge those officers. ABC's Alex Perche has the details.
We want justice!
It's the case that sparked weeks of protests in Northeast Ohio. 25-year-old Jaylen Walker gunned down by police after he fled a traffic stop. He was shot more than 45 times. But today, a grand jury deciding not to charge the officers who killed him.
The law allows officers to use deadly force to defend themselves or others against a deadly threat.
In the early hours of June 27th last year, officers tried to pull over Walker's Buick for a traffic violation. He drove off, and when they pursued him, authorities say he fired a gun at them.
21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
In police body camera footage, Walker is seen slowing down and jumping out of his car and running away. Chasing officers try to use a taser and miss. At one point, officers say Walker stops and turns towards them with a cross-body reaching motion.
Only then did the officers fire, believing Mr. Walker was firing again at them. Although the officers did not know it at the time, Mr. Walker had left his recently purchased gun in his car.
8 officers fire, hitting Walker dozens of times.
Alex Perche joins us now. Alex, what steps are officials taking next?
Well, Lindsay, the Akron Police Department will conduct an internal review of the shooting, examining things like tactical judgment and whether police procedures were followed. Now, those 8 officers will remain on administrative duty until that's complete. Lindsay?
Alex Perche, thank you. Now to the major turn in the investigation into the leak of highly classified Pentagon documents. The Wall Street Journal reports that a former Navy technician, a woman who appears to be a Putin supporter, also worked to spread those top secret materials online. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
It is the latest twist in a troubling tale. The Wall Street Journal reporting that a former Navy non-commissioned officer who now helps run a pro-Russia, pro-Putin social media account helped spread those top-secret documents well beyond the online forum Discord to other parts of the internet. 37-year-old Sarah Bills, who had been demoted, left the Navy last November after 12 years as an aviation technician. She told the Journal she is now one of the administrators of the Donbass Devushka online site. The Journal said the site posted 4 classified documents, which were then circulated by large Russian social media accounts. Bills telling ABC News she leaked nothing. The documents were part of the huge batch of top-secret information allegedly posted on Discord by 21-year-old Airman Jack Teixeira, who was arrested last week. The Pentagon today admitting they still don't know exactly how many documents were leaked.
I don't have a specific number for you at the moment. It's something that we're still reviewing.
Each day seeming to bring a new revelation, the latest about Chinese spy balloons, like the one shot down in January after passing over sensitive U.S. national security sites. The Washington Post reporting that leaked documents show U.S. intelligence agencies were aware of up to 4 additional Chinese spy balloons, including one that flew over a U.S. carrier strike group in the Pacific and another that crashed in the South China Sea.
Martha Raddatz joins us now from Washington. Martha, Jack Teixeira will be back in court on Wednesday. There's still so many questions about just how and why he had access to so much top secret information.
There are questions, Lindsay, but Teixeira had top secret clearance because he was a computer technician for an intelligence unit, but he should not have been reading any of the intelligence and certainly not copying it or taking it home, as prosecutors have charged. Lindsay?
All right, Martha Raddatz for us. Thanks so much, Martha. We turn overseas now to escalating chaos in Sudan. The African nation appears to be heading towards civil war as two rival military factions battle for control. More than 180 people are confirmed dead. Hospitals are being attacked and food and water are running out. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
Tonight, heavy fighting in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum. Intense street battles and airstrikes, leaving parts of the city of more than 6 million people in ruins and in fear. Two generals, one leading the army, another a paramilitary group, are fighting for control of the country. Multiple hospitals across Khartoum have been bombed and evacuated. The UN envoy says more than 180 people have been killed and 1,800 wounded. More than a dozen planes at the international airport destroyed. Frightened residents in the crossfire, afraid to leave their homes, running short of supplies.
We're just caught in the middle. It's like, this is our new normal now.
The UN's World Food Program announced 3 of its employees were also killed over the weekend. And because of the violence, many aid organizations have suspended their work in Sudan.
Our thanks to Marcus for that. Next to the heavy toll after that mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party in Alabama. At least 4 people were killed, more than 24 injured. Most of the victims, tragically, were just teens. ABC's Alwyn Lopez has the latest from Alabama.
Tonight, officials in Dadeville, Alabama say they're chasing solid leads in search of a suspect or suspects as the community mourns the young people killed at a Sweet 16 birthday party at this dance studio Saturday night. Bree Hutchinson struck by gunfire.
We were just having fun listening to music. And then next thing you know, we just heard gunshots.
But 4 others did not survive, including 17-year-old Shankivia Smith. Her cousin telling ABC News Kiki was filled with life. She lit up the room and planned to attend the University of Alabama.
Bright future. I mean, smart, intelligent, honor student. She was great.
18-year-old Phil Dowdell was weeks away from going to Jacksonville State on a football scholarship. The party was being held for his little sister. His mother, who was chaperoning, was also shot but survived.
It's tough right now for him. Real tough.
Also killed 23-year-old Corbin Holston and 19-year-old Marciah Collins. His mother telling ABC News he would do anything for anybody and planned to study music in college. And it wasn't the only mass shooting. Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 people were killed, 4 wounded when gunfire erupted in a park. Less than a week after 5 people were killed at Old National Bank. President Biden reacting to the latest incidents, writing, "This is outrageous and unacceptable. Our communities need and deserve better."
Our thanks to Elwyn. Still much more to get to. Coming up, for years, parents have read their children his books, but now there's one for them. Mo Willems tells us how he's still staying true to his roots. But next, hundreds of protesters hit the streets days after the passing of a controversial law, which sparks weeks of violent protests. How long the country's president says he's giving himself to heal the country.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California,
On the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends.
Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom! Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from Ukraine on the biggest war in Europe since World War II. I'm Tom Sophie Burridge. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. We're tracking several headlines around the world. The Coast Guard is still searching for 3 American sailors missing off the coast of western Mexico. The 3 were sailing from Mexico to San Diego when they disappeared nearly 2 weeks ago. A Coast Guard commander told ABC that part of the world is not heavily populated, so communications are just inherently difficult. To Syria now, where U.S. forces have conducted a raid against ISIS militants. According to a spokesman at U.S. Central Command, the raid resulted in the probable death of a senior ISIS Syria leader and operational planner responsible for planning terror attacks in the Middle East and Europe. No U.S. forces were killed in the raid. And to France, where hundreds of protesters hit the streets again, banging pots and pans outside of a town hall during an address to the nation by President Emmanuel Macron. Macron delivered his speech 2 days after signing into law plans to increase the retirement age from 62 to 64. Macron says that he was giving himself 100 days to heal the country after weeks of protests and anger at his unpopular retirement plan. Next tonight, the legendary children's book author out with his first book for adults. Diane Macedo sat down with Mo Willems, who has wisdom for us all from his career filled with best-selling children's books.
Mo, thanks so much for being here. I'm so excited for you, but I'm also excited for me because I love your book so much, so this is cool.
Thank you.
How do you feel 20 years after your book came out, your first children's book, to still be talking about that story now and how it's impacted not only children, but adults too?
It's phenomenal. It's very exciting. I mean, 20 years is a very long time. For instance, count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
20 years is longer than that.
It is, that's
so
for sure.
It is a long time. But I love the idea that kids and grown-ups are reading together. And that's what I was really hoping to do. I was hoping to create this environment where kids can yell no, and kids can want to draw because the pigeon is easy to draw, and then grown-ups would get a shamectomy. That grown-ups would start to read, they are the orchestra of the symphony, and that they would read with more vim and vigor and yell as well and be silly. Because when you have a child in your life, it's an opportunity to be silly again, to rediscover even the healing power of being ludicrous from time to time.
The power of play. It's so important. And
absolutely.
we often lose it when we have little ones because we're so consumed by just keeping all the plates spinning that sometimes we forget to play with our kids. And I love that your books inspire that. What was your reaction to seeing this story that started in your head become this classic?
Well, Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus was born in a little sketchbook. My wife decided to read these sketchbooks to kids because she was a lower school librarian at the time. And she was the one who told me, like, I think this is a children's book. And where it became a children's book was this idea of letting the kid be in charge, letting the kid yell no, letting the kid be rock and roll in that sense. And all of the publishers who saw this now 20 plus years ago, they had the exact same reaction. They said, no, it's unusual. And then there was one publisher who said, you know, maybe unusual is not a pejorative.
Well, unusual clearly paid off in this case. Now you're out with Be the Bus.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a different take. We've all gotten used to the story about the pigeon. We fell in love with the pigeon.
Right.
And now we're looking at this from a different perspective entirely.
Well, kids have now grown up. They're starting to have their own families. They grew up with the pigeon, and the pigeon is also growing up. So he decided to write his own book of pigeonisms, his own philosophical musings. So for Be the Bus, I'm just the translator. Now, one of the things that we like to do in all of our books is to create these little bits of surprise and delight. So do you mind giving me the Be the Bus?
Please, yeah.
So there's always going to be a secret, and we haven't actually told anybody about this. This is the cover,
top secret.
right? But when you take off the cover, it's a pigeon.
Oh, cute.
So the idea behind every book that we make is there is a surprise and delight, and that you will be the one who discovers the surprise and delight.
Why is that attention to detail so important to you?
Oh, it's fun. And it shows that you care, right? I don't want my books to be read. I want them to be played. I want my books to be a spark for creativity. You look at the pigeon, it's a very simple drawing. Oh, I could draw that. You read Don't Let the Pigeon Blank, and you go, oh, I could write a story about that. And now you're on this sort of journey of creativity. And when you discover something like this, seeing that the book is a pigeon, then you start to play with the form of making a book.
Even the inside of your cover is a whole other design.
That's exactly right. It's like a little poster. A book is a sculpture. And if you just think of books as a page, like there's a first page or whatever, you're forgetting the experience. The experience for a kid is holding this physical thing.
One of the interesting things about reading the pigeon book is that role reversal. Right? Kids are so used to being told no all the time.
Always.
And now they get to see this character who's asking to do things that, you know, we could all agree probably shouldn't be allowed to do. So now with Be the Bus, what are you hoping that we parents get out of this, and how can we relay that to our kids as well?
I think it is so important to write and draw. To draw is a physicalized form of empathy. When you're drawing, you are thinking about that character or that thing, and you empathize with it. And when you write, you are being creative in a very different way. And there's this thing that happens, usually when a kid is about 10, and they play basketball, and they dance, and they draw, and then one day they stop drawing. And that's because parents don't draw, right? That's because no one's doing it for the fun of it, right? And the idea that basketball is great. You should play basketball your whole life. You should play drawing your whole life. You should play writing your whole life, because they're just gonna make you a happier person. They're gonna make you more empathetic. They're gonna allow you to communicate with people better. So this idea of like, you can only draw if you're good, or you can only draw if you're going to make a living at it, it's a shame, is what it is.
I mean, we talk about play for the sake of play, drawing and writing for the sake of the drawing and the writing as well.
Exactly.
When you look at the array of stories that you've written over the past 20 years, now culminating here in Be the Bus,
right?
What do you hope people take away from the whole project?
So I don't just write books. I write operas. I make abstract paintings. I do things that terrify me. If there's something I don't know about, I want to go out and I want to do it. And I think with Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, I'm seen as a very funny guy. I'm kind of wacky. But you can be a wacky guy and a serious person at the same time. We are all more than one thing. And the way to show your more than one thingness is to go out and to do and to be.
Unless you're a pigeon who wants to drive a bus.
That's an insurance question more than anything else.
Go out and do and be. Our thanks to Mo Willems for that advice. And Diane Macedo as well. And still to come, as they say, you're never too old to chase your dreams, how a group of people are coming together to live out their childhood dreams.
I was so young, I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the it girls.
This stuff has to come out.
Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. Like, and it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yes. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
A bit of history tonight in the NFL. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts has agreed to the largest contract in NFL history. The 5-year, $255 million contract includes $179 million in guaranteed money and a full no-trade clause. We can see why he is smiling from ear to ear. Hurts led the Eagles to the Super Bowl earlier this year, and he finished second in the NFL's MVP race. And switching gears now, is there something that you always wanted to do as a child but just never had the opportunity? That's the idea that encouraged a Texas man to find a group of like-minded adults. Reporter Sean Giggy from our partner station WFAA introduces us to the Sandlot.
Go, Patty! At some point, pretty much every kid who plays baseball comes to the same realization that their dream is dead.
What?
Unless you're a big leaguer, there aren't many options for playing the game beyond childhood.
Come on now.
At least, there weren't.
Yeah.
Until Patty Evans was facing a crisis.
The 2 men in my life that I was the closest to
a couple years ago,
being gone within a span of 3 weeks.
After losing both his grandpa and his best friend.
He's my age.
Patty was struck with a revelation.
I could die tomorrow, and then I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, you know?
Afraid of living with regret, Patty set out to cross off the biggest thing on his bucket list.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yes.
Patty has always loved the game, but never got to play as a kid.
All right.
Now, at the age of 46,
just hang up flyers, old school way.
He was determined.
Just making sure it sticks.
He put up signs all over Dallas.
You got to put it in their face.
Inviting anyone who wanted to play to meet at the park.
Let's do it, let's do it.
And they did.
Nice hit, nice hit, nice hit.
Pretty much every weekend for the past year, people have been showing up to play.
No better way to spend a Saturday morning.
They call it Sandlot Baseball.
Here we go.
Just like the movie.
See your mother out there.
They play for fun.
This is the way you're supposed to play baseball.
It's a lot of fun, honestly.
Fun? Oh, dude, it's like, yeah, it's the most fun.
Although, for some, it wasn't always that way.
One point in our life, somebody made baseball unfun.
Obviously.
They made a decision.
Not a concern here. This team, the Oak Cliff 86ers.
Yes, oh, yeah.
Named for the year Oak Cliff was founded.
Up.
Is a ragtag group of guys.
3 and out in field, look alive, let's get it.
Some
This was my first love.
who have played before.
Most of us stopped playing when we were in Little League.
And some
Hey, safe.
who haven't.
What are you doing, you ding-dong?
New players are always welcome.
Absolutely.
Experience not needed.
Oh, absolutely not. I prefer that they don't. You know, because then if they do hit the ball or they throw it and someone catches it, like, that's a win.
And it's what this is all about, trying to recapture what baseball was meant to be.
Oh, there we go. Let's go.
What baseball once was for each of them.
It feels honestly like you're just playing at the park with your friends.
You know, just being a kid, just playing a game.
Some kids in the candy store, really.
They're not playing Little League, but they're clearly kids at heart.
Play this all day.
Which they say should be the goal for everyone.
Too much time we focus on, like, oh, I age out of doing the thing I liked as a kid. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that way.
No matter your age, they say you shouldn't have to give up doing what you love. As long as you have a dream,
that's what this is.
You just need to believe in it and bring it home.
That's down.
Just gotta believe. Love everything about that story. Our thanks to Sean Giggy for bringing us that. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com. Have a great night. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
on the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.